As you know, Austin Powers was frozen in 1967. Therefore, I will travel to 1969. 2 years after he was frozen, he'll be helpless. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to travel through time. I bid you adieu.
Welcome to episode 92 of Central Intelligence Cinema. Today we are reclaiming our mojo with a brush past review of Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. But without further ado, take it away, Pierce.
Beg your pardon, forgot to knock.
Welcome to the CIC, initiating security clearance.
My name is Napoleon Solo. Bond. James Bond.
Natasha Romanoff.
Ethan Hunt.
Felix Leiter.
Ilsa Faust. Identity confirmed.
Now, pay attention, 007.
Welcome to Central Intelligence Cinema, a podcast dedicated to spy movies and secret agent pop culture.
Your mission, should you decide to accept it.
Do you expect me to talk?
I'm in the middle of an interrogation. This moron is giving me everything.
Yeah, baby!
Special agent, you're not having a very special day, are you?
But remember, nothing ever goes according to plan.
Tom, what do you think you're doing?
Keeping the British hand up, sir. The state will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Recording from an undisclosed location in a hollowed-out volcano. It's the Central Intelligence Cinema Podcast. I'm Dr. Evil, and with me, as always, number 2.
Thank you, Dr. Evil. Thank you, Dr. Evil. And welcome back to the CIC, the spy movie podcast that puts the gar in swinger, baby.
Yeah, baby, yeah. If you want to get to a shagadelic podcast, baby, you're on the one. Yeah!
Yeah, baby! How you doing, Jason?
I'm doing great, Ben. How are you doing today?
I'm hanging in there. I'm feeling very, very groovy, baby.
I feel groovy, baby. Yeah!
Yes, indeed. We are finally back in the saddle, going all the way back to 1999 and then all the way back to 1969 today.
Just remember, everybody, try not to get too caught up in the details.
Yes. Oh, my God. Please don't. Well, and it's funny, too, that you said, well, we'll get into that, but we have got a very silly movie to review today, and but it felt very appropriate given our last review was Moonraker, because we are going back to space, baby.
That's right. It seemed only logical to go to this particular movie after watching Moonraker.
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, we are here to cover Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, the second installment, and we're doing our brush pass review of it. So we're gonna kind of swiftly make our way through this movie,
Which is good because it is a very quick movie.
It is. It's very. This movie is so very 1990s in the fact that it's only 95 minutes long, and yeah, it's a nice little fit and trim movie, which it doesn't deserve to be any longer than it is.
No. I think I was discussing this with my wife as we were watching the movie last night, and she's like, I can't understand why you don't like Jim Carrey movies, but you like these movies.
Yeah.
When they're basically the same thing. I'm like, well, they're not really the same thing. Jim Carrey's slapsticky stuff is much different than Mike Myers' slapsticky stuff.
Right.
And dare I say, perhaps Mike Myers' stuff is a little more intelligent. And when I say a little more intelligent, I mean very, very little.
Tiny little bit of more.
Yes. But she's absolutely right. I can't sit through anything that Jim Carrey did except The Mask and maybe The Truman Show without I can't. Dumb and Dumber, I've never understood it. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, no way.
See,
I liked a little because he was menacing, but anything that Austin Powers made or that Mike Myers made in the 90s, I absolutely love.
Yeah. And, honestly, this movie, it doesn't entirely hold up, but it holds up better than I thought.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I still chuckled at a few things.
Right.
Which, for a movie this old that isn't written by Mel Brooks, is probably not something I do very often.
Right. Well, should we get right on into it then?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see if we could do or we could do a brush pass review that's shorter than the actual movie.
Hot damn, let's do it.
Do you swing?
Are you kidding, baby? I put the gar in swinger, baby, yeah!
Austin Powers.
Crazy, baby, yeah!
Is back.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
With the help of the beautiful Felicity Shagwell.
How does that feel, baby?
Lower.
How does that feel, baby?
In a thrilling adventure of intrigue, treachery, and love. But Dr. Evil is back, and more evil than ever.
Gonna cry, huh? Oh, yeah. I'm going to go back to the 60s and steal Austin Powers' mojo. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to travel through time. I bid you adieu.
Dr. Evil, we began a program to clone you. He is exactly like you in every way. 1/8 your size.
I shall call him Mini-Me.
Mini-Me. Something small, something deadly. Austin Powers, the spy who shagged me.
Great plan, Einstein.
All right, zip it.
You can't.
Zip.
It's simple.
Subtitle. Zip it.
From this. You know it.
Okay, Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, released in 1999. Wow.
Right?
Right? I know. Directed by Jay Roach, who did all the Austin Powers movies, as well as Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers, and I guess he did a lot of those SNL movies from back in the 90s as well.
Yeah.
Written by Mike Myers, along with Michael McCullers, who also worked on Goldmember, The Boss Baby, Mr. Peabody and Sherman, and Hotel Transylvania 3.
So Mike Myers wrote a movie with a cartoon writer.
Imagine that. No wonder it turned out the way it did. I mean, it is what it is. This movie is what it is. It's just
absolutely.
It's just silly as silly can silly, which is why it's so perfect for us to review.
Indeed.
Weird little fun fact, because the word shag, or in this case the past tense version, shagged, is considered much more vulgar on the other side of the pond than it is here in the States. And because of that, there were some rather interesting changes in title depending on what country it was showing in. For instance, in some countries, they simply put an asterisk in place of the A in shag. So it just said SH asterisk G. The Norwegian title of the movie is Spionum som spermit meg, which is a slightly dirtier way of saying the spy who ejaculated on me.
All right.
And in Germany, it's titled Spy in the Secret Missionary Position.
I mean, the fact that those two English versions sound like they were porn versions of this movie in the States gives me great hope.
Right? It's very interesting. But anyway, as far as photography goes, director of photography was Ueli Steiger, who worked on Singles, the 1998 version of Godzilla, and the Jerky Boys movie. So...
Wow, that's quite a resume.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Singles was a good movie, but anyway, it's, the whole movie looks basically just like a long SNL skit anyway. So I don't know if you felt this way, but I felt like this movie felt, with the exception of the moon base, I felt like everything felt kind of smaller in this movie in a way.
Yeah. Than the first one for sure.
Yeah. It feels very SNL-y to me, like as far as the sets and things like that go. Like they don't feel like big cinematic pieces. Like you can tell this is an SNL joint in a lot of ways.
Right. Although technically this is not, because Lorne Michaels had nothing to do with it.
Well, aside from the Dr. Evil impersonation, which
Which I'm sure it was done under duress, so,
Exactly.
Well, I suppose if you have to use that voice, Mike, you're going to have to go use it, but I don't know that I like it very much. What was weird, though, as I was watching the number of credits rolling down at the beginning of the movie, Demi Moore was apparently a producer on this film.
That's crazy to know. I
right?
didn't even catch that one. Yeah, really.
I mean, I'm assuming it's the Demi Moore we all know, not Demi Moore, right? Who was somebody else entirely. Much like George S. Clinton is not George Clinton.
Right.
But
which I had to look up. I was like, wait a minute, which one is this?
Definitely not to be confused with William J. Clinton, who had nothing to do with this movie.
Exactly.
But I'll bet he sure wish he had, as far as Linda Graham goes.
Boy, I wish I could have shagged her.
I'd have been the spy who shagged everybody.
And speaking of music, the composer on this film was not the godfather of funk, but rather George S. Clinton, who did all the Austin Powers movies and a lot of SNL spin-off movies in general. It's fine. It's very, kind of...
I like the Shirley Bassey homage stuff at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, no, I like what's very funky 60s, late 60s type stuff. I'll tell you what I didn't really care for was Madonna song.
Oh, no, I love this song. I remember when we talked about all the Bond films theme songs, how I said this one was better than the garbage she came out with for the movie.
Oh, see, I would disagree.
You did disagree.
I find myself a bit bored with Beautiful Stranger, whereas I'm going to take the contrarian role here because I know a lot of Bond fans hate Die Another Day by Madonna, and I actually kind of think it's a jam. So, but I felt like Beautiful Stranger, I was just like I know that they used it in the movie where he's like, kind of depressed because he's lost his mojo and he just had to walk away from, Heather Graham's character because he's, he thinks that he can't perform or something. he's
blue, baby. Yeah.
He's blue, baby. He's not feeling shagadelic at all in the Shaguar. But I was just sort of like, okay, fine.
Well, what's funny to me is this song sounds like a Madonna song in a spy movie, and Die Another Day sounds like Madonna tried to do a James Bond spy song. So I think that's a key differentiator, is that it's just a Madonna song that ended up in this movie, not really intended to be a spy song. And then she tried to write Die Another Day, and you can't write James Bond. You're Madonna. Stay in your wheelhouse, sister.
That's fair. Like she was, almost like she was trying too hard, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. But I liked all the music, especially the little cut twos with the 60s stuff.
Yeah.
Although I have to say there were maybe too many of those, Rowan Martin's laughing, dancing, go-go girl cut in things.
Yeah.
Maybe at least too many on that.
Yeah, it felt like, I'm guessing it's one of those things where they, it was easier for them to transition from one thing to another. I actually know not for certain, but I really feel like I was watching, there's a part of the movie where Austin and Felicity they do that whole montage where they're shopping and they're getting to know each other and all this stuff. And then some stuff happens and Austin loses his mojo and then they're in bed together and then he does the sad boy thing and drives away. And then they get back together at the same area of town.
Right.
And he tries to explain to her what happened. And they're wearing the same clothes, the exact same clothes as earlier when they do the initial montage. And I wonder if that entire scene was supposed to happen at a different point and they split it up. Because from a continuity perspective, it didn't make any sense. It was clearly this all looks like it should have been one scene and they split it up.
No. I think it was two different scenes that, for economy's sake, they shot at the same time.
Right.
And somebody just didn't realize, oh shit, we got them in the same clothes.
Yeah.
This movie was obviously shoestring compared to the budget that Goldmember got.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean,
they basically redressed an entire California street to look like it was an English street. So they had permits. Right?
Right. Yeah.
There are some other continuity errors that I noted throughout this movie. So whoever was working continuity on there wasn't very good at their job.
Yeah. Also, really quickly going back to the music discussion, I'm kind of bummed that the Lenny Kravitz version of American Woman did not make it into the actual cut of the film. It's only it's only in the credits. It's like
it should have been when she comes whipping in the Corvette. That's what should have been playing.
Or the version when they're in the club when you first see her.
Yep.
Like, because boy, that's an entrance. Boy,
that's a banger, man. That song is a banger.
Yeah. By the numbers, this movie did this is why Goldmember ended up getting such a huge budget, was because this budget was $33 million and the movie made $312 million. So the movie made more money in its debut than the entire gross of the first Austin Powers movie. So
yeah, baby.
Very groovy, baby. They did a lot of money. They made a lot of money on this movie. And I gotta think too that this is like during that era of blockbuster rentals and things like that. And I feel like the shelf life of the first one did very well in the rental.
Oh yeah.
In the rental sphere. And so that's why this movie exploded, why it was so big. So yeah, getting into the actors and everybody. Obviously, we've got Mike Myers playing Austin Powers. He's also playing Dr. Evil. He's also playing Fat Bastard.
He also plays at least one other version of Austin Powers.
Yes. the 1969 version of Austin Powers or whatever.
Well, the Austin Powers from 10 Minutes in the Future, baby.
Yeah. And apparently he also has some sort of voice role as some astronaut somewhere in there. I think
he's the astronaut at the very beginning, the one that says, "Oh my gentle Jesus, Houston, we have a problem."
Right, when they see the big boy, the Azar's big boy. And then we have Heather Graham playing Felicity Shagwell. Yeah, Jason, I'm going to try not to simp too hard during this review.
Oofda.
I've been guilty of simping before. I am going to do my best not to simp too terribly much, but my goodness, stunning.
Oh, Heather Graham was my 1990s Haley Atwell.
Yeah, she's something else. Good Lord. And then we've got, going down the list here, we've got, and since we've never covered an Austin Powers movie on this podcast, I need to just speak on how great it is that they named the version of M in this movie series Basil Exposition. Like, how perfect of a name is that? Like,
indeed,
it is. I mean, this is like if we did a satire of a spy movie. The fact that the person's name is Exposition,
right? In fact, he should have just been E.
Right, exactly.
But it was just fun to hear. I think Mike Myers was like, "But I like to say Basil."
Yeah, well, Basil is such a fun. Yeah, well, it's
such a quintessentially British sounding name, right?
Absolutely.
Hello, Basil. Basil.
Right. Right. You never hear that here. Played by Michael York, who, reprises his role from the first one. He is who he is.
Well, because Michael York was a big actor in the 70s, right? Logan's Run is the movie that I always think of the most, but I know he was in many other things. But every time I see him in these particular movies, all I'm like is that Val Kilmer with makeup?
Yeah, he's very made up. He's very like the wigs and he plays kind of a weird version of M, like a very strange version of M.
Well, he's almost like M mixed with Q and a couple other letters of the alphabet.
Yeah,
and, like he's the amalgamation of the Home Office. That's it, right? So he's ready to
go. So then we've got on the evil side of things, on Team Evil, we have number 2, played by Robert Wagner, who is excellent, and even more,
but not as excellent as Rob Lowe.
Not as excellent. Rob Lowe is so good in this movie. He has young number 2.
Somebody was like, "You have a Robert Wagner impression in your quiver? Holy shit. Get this man on this movie."
It is so good. And there's God, what does he say? He mispronounces something on purpose during the initial meeting when Dr. Evil first goes back to 1969 and he meets young number 2. He pronounces something almost the way that like Christopher Walken would or something. Like he said it in such a weird way, but I knew it was on purpose. And I'm like, man, he's really thinking about what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like he's not just,
Well, and I love how he's the only one that was another actor in 1969.
Yeah.
Michael York, same guy. Frau, same girl.
Right. Well, they riff on that anyway.
They do. Well, but maybe that's why these ones make me a little bit happier than the Jim Carrey ones, because he's very self-aware of the fact that he's in a stupid movie and brings it up periodically from time to time.
Yeah, there's a lot of winking so much winking going on in this movie.
There's a lot of winking going on in this movie.
And then we've got Mini-Me, played by the late Vern Troyer. I'm not going to get into too terribly much what a shithead Vern Troyer was in real life, but he's funny in the movie.
He does a great job of being what he needs to be, which is a evil little clone of Dr. Evil.
Exactly. The choreography between him and Mike Myers is pretty great. Just all the air quotes and all the mimicking the dual Mr. Bigglesworths and
yes, the bicycle, the bling 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 bling.
Oh my God, I forgot about that part. He's like, I'm trying to bring some dignity back to this evil operation, as he's like got a little
Exactly.
And then we've got Seth Green, of course, coming back as Scott Evil, who he's fantastic in this movie.
Oh, he is.
He always is. And then, we've got Frau Farbissina, once again played by Mindy Sterling, who I love the riff that they do where Dr. Evil comes back to 1969 and he notes that that number 2 looks so healthy, and then he looks at Frau and she looks exactly the same.
Dr. Evil, welcome to 1969.
Thank you, number 2. You look so healthy and youthful.
Well, thank you.
Doctor?
And Frau, you look so... right.
It's exactly the same.
So then we have a brief visit, at the very beginning from Elizabeth Hurley playing Vanessa Kensington, which I understand why they needed to do what they did with her character, but I'm just like, wow, okay. But it's a silly movie, so that's what you do.
Shit gets in your jubblies the whole time. How did I not notice? Maybe try foreplay.
That was such a great line.
It was.
And then we've got, a couple smaller roles. We've got Will Ferrell back as Mustafa playing... man, it's so wild to see him so young in this movie.
Right. And I had forgotten. I've gotten into the habit of, sitting through till the end of the movie, but there's a little end credit scene with him at the very end, too.
Oh, is there really?
Yeah.
Because I watched through most of the credits.
He's still in the ditch.
Of course he is.
I don't know if there's anyone still out there listening. However, I'm still here and I'm still in a great deal of pain. I've tried to fashion a splint and I'm going to try to get up now. Ah! Okay, if you could help, it would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, I felt like I could have completely done without that whole thing.
I know, but
it's one of those things where it worked really well in the first one, and in this one, I'm just like, it almost feels like the Family Guy thing where when he hurts his foot and he's like, yeah. It just goes on too long. It's just one of those ones where I'm just like, okay.
every time you see him, you get to see Heather Graham. So you got to take the good with the bad.
This is true. Then we've got Gia Carides. I don't even know how her last name is pronounced. As Robin Swallows. Is it spit or swallow, baby? She is who she is. And then, of bigger note, Kristen Johnson from Third Rock from the Sun.
And she was on. She was like big time when this movie came out.
That was at like the height of her career.
Yeah.
Playing Ivana Humpalot. And she is spectacular in more ways than one.
Indeed.
So that was fun to see her. And then we've got this huge swath of just like little bit roles and cameos. We've got Burt Bacharach, Elvis Costello, Woody Harrelson, Willie Nelson. We've got Tim Robbins playing the president.
Right.
Then we've got Rebecca Romaine, Jerry Springer, and then Fred Willard as the mission commander. So we've got.
I noticed somebody. So first of all, Clint Howard is in there. Obviously, Ron Howard's brother. He's the guy who's in NORAD, the Air Force sergeant.
Oh yeah. Oh, and then the guy from Mad TV.
Oh yeah, Stewart's in there. I can do it all by myself. But also at the very end, when the rocket's flying by and we're all doing the dick joke that never ends.
Right. Yeah.
At the baseball game, Jennifer Coolidge is the woman that's talking to the peanut vendor.
Yes. I forgot to mention.
And she doesn't even sound like herself.
Right. And it's funny you mentioned, because it's like these actors that like start falling into doing parodies of their own self.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when, late stage Walken, even to a degree, where Christopher Walken occasionally will fall into being Christopher Walken,
Yeah.
because that's what, a lot of people want out of him. And she hadn't gotten to that point in this movie yet.
But it was kind of like,
oh, my lips are normal, and so is my voice.
Right.
I'll never get famous this way.
Right? Yeah.
I will say, as good as the cameos are here, they're not as good as the cameos in the third movie at the very beginning.
It's been so long since I've seen Goldmember that I don't even remember, like, the opening
Goldmember
scene.
starts with the movie version of Austin Powers. You remember who's in that?
Oh, yes, with Tom and everybody else who's
Spielberg.
in there. Yeah.
And Kevin Spacey playing Dr. Evil, which, say what you will about Kevin Spacey, and there's a lot you can say about him.
Yes.
As an impressionist and a comedic actor, he is pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's very good at what he does. It's just, his private life caught up to him.
Any chance to see Tom Cruise being ridiculous is just joyful for me.
Which is exactly why I'm really excited for that Digger movie that's coming.
Right?
That should be... I've heard people on the internet saying that this is like his Oscar moment.
Right?
Is the Digger movie.
Well, and one still hopes that Les Grossman movie is coming somewhere down the line.
Oh my God, that'd be incredible. But he's exceptional in comedic roles because he stops trying to be so Tom Cruise-y.
Yes. He's actually a better actor at comedy roles than he is as an action hero because he gets a chance to actually act.
Yeah, he gets to put himself inside a very specific human being that he can't just rely on being himself in.
Exactly. So I guess we'll be reviewing that soon.
Let's hope not. So should we start talking about this actual movie here?
Well, yeah, why not?
Okay. Let's see here. So we kick it off and we've got this Star Wars crawl talking about what happened in the previous movie or whatever. I guess they had foiled Dr. Evil's plan to, what was it, send a missile into the center of the Earth or something?
Yeah, a nuke into the center of the Earth.
Right. So, and then they, sent Dr. Evil out into the cold reaches of space. And so it makes it sound like, he's living happily ever after with Vanessa until he's not, or whatever.
Right.
And then before we check in on Austin, we then see the space shuttle doing something. And coming up behind the space shuttle is the Azar's Big Boy spacecraft, I guess.
Yes.
And
it's funny. You keep saying Azar's Big Boy. Where are you getting Azar's Big Boy from?
Well,
that's Bob's Big Boy.
Well, in one of the undisclosed locations that I used to live in,
okay,
they had a Big Boy restaurant, but it was Azar's Big Boy. So that's just how I know it.
Okay. See, growing up in California, they were all Bob's Big Boy out there. In fact, I think the only ones that are left are the Bob's Big Boy.
Gotcha.
I didn't realize it was anywhere else that it wasn't Bob's.
In fact, I think too, when I was really small, living in Wisconsin, I think it was Azars there as well. So it might have just been like outside of California. There were other companies that picked up the franchising of it.
Could be. Hey, folks, there you go. Here's a little bit of 70s nostalgic restaurant information for you. Back to the podcast already in progress.
You're welcome. So, as we were saying, the space shuttle, the guy is like working on something out in, the hatch is open on the space shuttle, and they're doing something, and they see this big boy shuttle behind it, and out of the butt of the big boy is the little egg pod, the little egg escape pod, and you can hear Dr. Evil maniacally laughing, and then that exactly. And that jettisons towards Earth, and then we're back to, what is it, like Austin's honeymoon or something?
Yep.
I think he's on. And they're at some fancy hotel, and they start the scene where you see the exterior of the hotel, and you hear Vanessa making sex noises.
Oh, dear.
And then we go in, and they've just finished coitus, and he suggests going again. He's got his own Kama Sutra book.
With his face on it.
And I will say, the thing that makes this movie still hold up is the number of, it's very much in line with like Top Secret, where they really throw tons and tons and tons of jokes at you. Like they don't.
Yeah, it's a gag fest. If they get one in every 6 or 7, they're happy.
Yeah, as long as they keep throwing them at you, you can't be, distracted by how absolutely stupid this movie is.
Pretty much.
Because it's funny enough that you don't care. So she starts doing weird stuff. She says that she's going to get up, and then it almost looks like her mouth is rewinding, and then she says it again, and then she gets up, and Austin's like, what's going on? And then he's like, yeah, I'm going to go watch a movie now.
Movie.
And I think it's hilarious that his favorite movie is in like Flint.
Yes.
It's like kind of perfect. So then he starts rewinding the movie, and then she starts rewinding, and and I like when he puts the Spanish
adaptive translation on.
Yeah. And she starts talking.
And it's not even her voice.
Right. It's just overdubbed in like, I think it's a man's voice or something.
Yes.
And then he figures it out, and at this point we come to realize that Vanessa's been a fembot this whole time, and he rips her face off, and she looks like the Terminator, which is also
she looks like. She looks like the fembots from $6 Million Man. That's the whole joke.
Oh, did they have those in that?
Yeah. Yeah,
they
had a guy that made Maskatron. And then Maskatron, he made female ones so that Jamie Summers had a Maskatron to fight. And they all had that same really bad makeup piece with the robot face on it that made no sense because there's no articulation, no nothing, not even a hole where the hole should be for the mouth. At least the Terminator looked like a skull when you burned everything out. This one just looked like 70s schlock from Westworld.
Perfect. So then you suddenly hear Dr. Evil, and he's like, I brought you a wedding present, Mr. Powers, or whatever. And then Vanessa explodes. And this moment,
he stands there like Bugs Bunny,
right?
Or Elmer Fudd,
yeah,
with the whole building on fire, smoking around him with dust on his face. And the first thing he does is grab his junk. He's like, oh, thank God.
Right? And then he picks up Vanessa's hand and breaks the fourth wall, which I wasn't expecting, actually, just because it's been a while since I've seen this movie. But he breaks the fourth wall and starts, oh no, my Vanessa's just been a fembot this whole time. And then he's like, but wait a minute. That means I'm single again, baby. And he does that weird thing where he claps with the hand.
Yes. But he does something even weirder. Takes off all of his clothes and goes dancing around the hotel naked.
Right. And that is our credit sequence.
Indeed. How could we take the scene that they had in the first one where they were conveniently covering up both their naked bodies with random stuff and turned it into an opening sequence.
Exactly, because literally every joke from the first movie is brought back in this movie in a slightly different way, or sometimes not a slightly different way at all.
No, exactly.
So yeah, he's dancing around, and then it was also pointed out to me by the missus that by the voice of the CIC that Austin's chest hair is basically shaped like a dick. like
Interesting.
Like the chest, it seems to have two bulbs, and then the bottom part seems to narrow.
Okay, I did not notice that, but yeah, I could see it.
So we get all the gags. Yeah, we get all the gags of, like the hams that are covering up his ass. Like the two hams that are covering his ass cheeks.
My favorite one was the lady who's got the makeup compact.
Yeah,
and then she closes it, and he's like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah. So all the different iterations of that you could possibly think of. And then we get to this synchronized dance, the synchronized swimming thing.
Oh my goodness.
Which he's obsessed with that. Like Mike Myers is obsessed with synchronized swimming, because I swear to God,
you're not wrong.
Because I feel like I've seen like half a dozen other like skits that he's done with that. And then they do this I will say, I kind of like the clever reversed shot where he comes out of the water fully dressed.
Yep.
In his Austin Powers suit.
Yep.
Where they do it from like a top down shot so you can't tell that it's backwards. It's very clever.
Well, I'll be honest with you. If you've watched enough synchronized dancing in movies, it's not that clever.
Oh, but they do that all the time, or?
Oh yeah. You can watch what is it, the Great Muppet Caper or Muppets Take Manhattan, whichever one Miss Piggy does.
Oh, they do
little
them
synchronized
there.
dance. Oh yeah. It's been around since the 30s, man. But it was actually one of the more convincing ones in terms of not looking like it was going backwards.
Yeah.
Which I think you're right, had to do with the angle more than anything else.
Yeah. So and then we're back to the movie after all that. And so then we're at the NATO monitoring session, and you get the guy from Mad TV.
I could do it.
How's it going? And he's supposed to be monitoring something serious, but all he cares about is watching Jerry Springer. And
like you did in the 90s, right?
Like you did in the 90s, because in the 90s you didn't have to worry about every little thing. But anyway, I digress. So he's watching Jerry Springer, and Scott is on as a guest, and the whole theme of the show is my evil dad is trying to take over the world or some shit like that.
Right.
And this is the first of many very dated, cultural references. The Jerry Springer show in and of itself, which, I'm sure most younger folks today wouldn't even know what the Jerry Springer show is anymore. Just a talk show.
If only we had younger people that were listening to this podcast, we could
Right?
explain it to them. But
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure our demographic probably knows Jerry Springer.
They probably do. So, yeah. So we've got the Grand Wizard KKK guy. We've got the Nazi guy. And now we're bringing on Dr. Evil, who Scott thinks is still frozen in space. And
Right.
Jerry's like, well, guess what, Scott? I will say, this is the riffing, though, that Mike Myers does, even though this is, as this series goes on, like the riffing sort of gets more and more tiresome, I think.
Yeah.
But I will say this little bit here on the Jerry Springer show where he's talking about why he doesn't love Scott as much.
Scott, you're just not evil enough.
He's you're quasi.
You're quasi-evil. You're like the margarine of evil. You're like the Diet Coke of evil. Just 1 calorie, not evil enough.
Exactly.
I still use that whenever I'm having conversations with people that need to be more aggressive in what they're doing. Particularly with employees and whatnot. I'm just like, you're like the Diet Coke of aggressive. Just 1 calorie, not aggressive enough.
Exactly. And then And then, as is every Jerry Springer episode, a fight breaks out, and Dr. Evil starts fighting the Grand Wizard and like yanks his hat off, and then
I've got your hood.
And then Jerry breaks it up, but then Dr. Evil starts fighting Jerry.
And Jerry starts biting his ankle, which is even funnier.
I know. Jerry really got into it, which I appreciated. He was definitely in on the joke. And then after that, we've got Austin driving in the Shaguar. And honestly, my favorite dated reference in this entire movie is the call comes up in his car on the TV screen
AOL.
in his car, and it's AOL. I'm like, wow, that takes me back.
Right?
The fact that AOL was still that big of a thing in the 90s, it's like it's nothing now.
Right.
So he's, it's Basil, and Basil's telling him that he's got a photo shoot to do with 2 models, and one of them works for Dr. Evil. So then he arrives at his pad in 1999, which doesn't look a whole lot different than the one from 1969. Yeah. And we've got Rebecca Romaine being Rebecca Romaine, and then we've got Kristen Johnson being Ivana Humpalot.
Pretty easy to tell which one works for Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking when I watched this? This was a year before X-Men came out.
Oh, really? Well, that makes sense then, yeah.
Before Rebecca Romaine went into the whole Mystique thing and got that little bump for her career on that.
Yeah, I did like the kind of some of the riffing he does when he's like showing them how to pose or whatever. There's one really weird one at the end when he just keeps going and he's like a sequence of tunnels like the
yes,
like the hood. Like I forget what he said. Something
the Viet Cong.
The Viet Cong. Yeah, I was like, what?
Yep. I'm not even shooting you right now. What am I doing? I don't know. You're animals. You're digging at the ground.
Right. Then he's like posing with them, like being like some sort of ferret creature or something.
Go to the right. Okay, not the left. To the right again.
And then it cuts to Seattle, and it's Seattle because we see the Space Needle, and it's got a giant Starbucks thing on it.
It's funny to remember that Starbucks defined Seattle for almost 10 years.
Yes.
Starbucks and grunge music.
Yes, it was very, very on the nose, but only very on the nose for that era. Because now you would never think that, Nope. So yeah, that's where Dr. Evil's headquarters is now, is at the top of the Space Needle. And apparently they own like a great portion of Starbucks now because number 2 has been very busy.
I think they imply that they actually just own Starbucks. That was, I can't think the joke.
Yeah.
We took our money and created this Starbucks, which allows us to have premium quality coffee for a reasonable price.
I love how he's such a spokesperson for.
Oh yeah,
and this is back too. This is like the high point for Starbucks too. Before the revolt, when everybody thought that like Starbucks was the shit, right?
Yep.
So after we see number 2, and after he's done riffing. Oh, he hands him that's what it is. He hands him the Starbucks, and Dr. Evil dips his face in it. And so he's got a nose full of foam, and it's just...
And number two tries to say something, but he won't listen to him.
Right.
Because that's the thing there. Because all that number 2 is doing is trying to say, we could make so much more money if we just went legit.
Right.
Than we can being evil. And Dr. Evil isn't going to have any of that.
It's so... I love that it's sort of structured that way, where Dr. Evil is the dumbest person in the room at all times.
Right.
Like number two could make him a fortune. Scott could fix all of his problems, but he never listens to him either.
Right. And be evil.
Yeah. And it's just like, no. You just don't get it, Scott, do you? So then we see Frau with Unibrow. She's picked up a female lover named Unibrow
on the PGA tour.
Of course. And then we get the introduction to Mini-Me. And
well, I love how and they do this twice in the movie where it's the projected shadow
yes.
on a white background.
Yes.
And it's like He's everything evil that you are, Dr. Evil, but 1/8 the size as it slides up, and then it's Vern Troyer.
Right. And then we sort of find out that Dr. Evil has a time machine now, and he plans to, his whole evil plan is to steal Austin Powers' mojo. And Scott's like, well, why? You could just go back and kill him while he's on the toilet or something. And
right.
And of course, you know, zip it. Oh, God. The zip it in that.
Scott.
And Scott's like, you're like a child. And then he really leans into it. Like he's
right.
He's just like he's just like, yeah, he just like is reduced to blubbering to shut up Scott the whole time. So then he's like, all right, well, it's time to go back in time and steal his mojo or whatever. And they have the time machine. The time machine looks like, what is that?
It's a complete ripoff from a show called The Time Tunnel in the late 50s and early 60s.
Oh, okay. See, I was thinking of Stargate actually, because it kind of looks like the circular thing from Stargate too.
I'm not saying Stargate didn't also take that idea away, but if you look up Time Tunnel on the YouTubes, it's the exact same time travel device with the exact same spinning effect. And I believe it's that exact same freeze frame spinning around into the whole effect.
Of course. And of course, when he first tries it, he just like smacks into it, which...
Right.
So then he goes back with Mini-Me, and waiting for him is number 2, Rob Lowe's version of number 2, which is so good. Oh my God.
So here's where I have to depart the text a little bit because, you know, later on we're going to get the admonition to not get too deep into all of the shit we're seeing.
Yes. Yes.
But I being an ardent time travel person cannot get myself away from the fact that so much of this made no sense to me at all.
Yeah.
Because that has to mean that if he'd gone back in time, that old number 2 already knew he was going to do that in the first place.
Right, yeah.
And Frau had to know it was going to happen. So I'm just like, particularly since Scott ended up being created in him going back in time.
Yeah, there's a lot of paradoxical things sort of
God,
rearing their ugly head. It's the same thing
Damn
with
it, Marty, I hate paradoxes. If you go back in time and you do that, you have a paradox, it could destroy the entire universe.
Like the fact that, I mean, you could get into the fact that like Austin Powers, if Austin Powers has already retrieved or figured out that he doesn't need his mojo to have a mojo, that he wouldn't have to do any of this. And there's just like, there's so many paradoxical things going on, which is clearly why, like later on when Basil looks straight into the camera, where he's like, don't take any of this too seriously.
Yeah, well, he basically tells him, try not to think about it too much, Austin, and we suggest the same for you.
It's so good that they do that, though, just because
I always feel like that's addressed specifically for people like me.
It really is. It's they might as well have said, "Hey, Jason, don't think about this too much.
Just enjoy the movie." Okay. You're giving me permission. I get it.
So yeah, so now he's back in 1969. Number 2 now looks like Rob Lowe. And Frau still looks like Frau.
Yep.
And then Dr. Evil's very concerned that his evil lair is done exactly the way he asked for it. And of course it is. It's in a hollowed out volcano. And of course on the outside of it is sculpted his head with his pinky and everything else.
Yes. And the eyes are windows.
Yeah. And holy bad CGI Batman. Like when they zoom out from the island, the water is rendered so poorly.
Yep. Oh yeah, it was definitely Halo Combat Evolved water, if that.
Yeah, it's really bad. So anyway, so he gets his volcano lair with his head carved into the rock and all that. And yeah, honestly too, I felt like the island looked a little like the Jedi Island from the sequels, from the Star Wars sequels. It looked a little bit like that too.
Although I sort of got like an Incredibles vibe as well.
Yes.
Like maybe when they did the Incredibles, they kind of used that as their template for that bit, or for Syndrome's Island. Yeah.
So then we're back in 1999 and Austin is now like kind of making the moves on Ivana Humpalot, and now they're playing chess. Chess.
I have watched a lot of movies in my life. I have never seen chess sexualized so blatantly in my entire life. The part with the two bishops, where she's running her fingers over the bishops' heads.
I know.
I'm like, oh my God. And then Mike Myers puts the piece in his mouth and then chokes on it.
Right. Well, I like to, even before that, when he like puts it over his tongue and he realizes how bad it tastes.
He's like,
oh God, why? So then she's supposed to like kill him, but she's so attracted to him, and he's like, I know, baby. He rips off his shirt and she's like, make love to me, monkey man.
I just think it's funny that she's in his apartment with the exact same thing she was wearing while they were at the studio shooting.
Right.
So, like, she basically walked over there in her underwear and heels with this fur coat on. Didn't bother to put anything else on.
Right. You know, like you do. So then, they begin to do adult activities. Then we're back with Dr. Evil, and he's explaining that he's infiltrated the Ministry of Defense using Fat Bastard.
Probably the best character to come out of these movies, by the way.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it's just that genesis of every Scottish impression that Mike Myers has ever done, whether it was in, How I Married an Axe Murderer or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Or So I Married.
Move!
Right, exactly. And then Fat Bastard just evolves into Shrek. So
pretty much.
Yeah.
But I will say this. Another fine Stan Winston creation, that fat suit.
Yes, holy cow. It's just so...
It still holds up, and it's 30 years old.
It holds up.
Mic drop Stan. Boom.
Yeah, and it is disgusting as it needs to be. It's just so... God. He's like, I ate a whole baby.
I ate a baby.
Just, he's so over the top, just so disgusting.
I'm so
just
sexy.
Just the amount of like spittle and just.
He's always got drool dripping down his chin.
It's just so gross. Oh my God. So then,
cut the Fat Bastard. He's with the rest of the Scots Guard and.
Oh yeah, the Scots Guard or whatever, and then he plays the bagpipes, and
right,
and the bagpipes emit. Now, and again, I know I'm not supposed to think about things too much, but like, why didn't the gas knock him out? Maybe it's just because he's really
that was the first thing I thought of. Well, it's because the dose wasn't strong enough because I'm so big and sexy.
Exactly. So he drains the mojo, and then we cut back, and Austin's in bed with Ivana, and he realizes that his mojo's been stolen. But again, this is yet another one of those don't think about it too much moments, because why would he suddenly... Because he talks about how his mojo's been stolen. Then you see him with Basil, and Basil's like, yes, we have verified that your mojo has been stolen or whatever.
Yes.
But then later in the movie, it's like, it doesn't matter that your mojo is stolen. You always have mojo or whatever. So it's like,
right.
How this is almost like as bad as like when they tried to scientificate the Force in the prequels. Like it's that's kind of what it.
I mean, it's sort of if you really want to dig deep into it, as if we were scholars, say. You could say that he maybe didn't have his mojo the whole time, but then when the act actually happened, there was some sort of like transference through temporal channels that made him aware of it, but he was still able to function without it, even though he didn't have it. I mean, you could, but that would be even more stupid than just rolling with it. Because what it basically was that at a fixed point in time, you would alter anything that went forward from when it happened in the previous point in time. And that's not usually how most time models work, right? It either branches off into another temporal thing where there's an Austin that had his mojo and an Austin who didn't have his mojo, right? Or
I'm
he
going
just didn't have his
cross-eyed.
Yeah, I'm going cross-eyed. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Sorry, folks. You could, if you've listened long enough, you know time stuff is a little bit of a problem for me.
This is why I never want to review Tenet.
But see, I would have an argument about Tenet. It all made sense.
Oh, I hate that movie.
Which is why it makes no sense to anybody else. It only makes sense to people like me. Thank God it's only a quasi spy movie. It's like margarine spy movie. It's the Diet Coke of spy movies. Just 1 calorie, not
spy enough.
Not spy enough.
Then Austin's getting fitted with the MI6 version of a time machine, which is a bug, which is a Volkswagen bug. And convertible. And I love
Doesn't it look groovy, baby? Oh, yeah.
And I love how setting the time, I immediately, the number of Back to the Future vibes that this created.
Well, I thought it was funny that there was only a date.
Yes, or only a year.
Only a year.
There's no date. Yeah.
No day, just a year.
It's just like sometime during that year. But don't think about
1969, baby.
Maybe don't think about things too much. Just enjoy the movie. So after he backs up into all of the different scientific apparatus, and then he drives forward as if he's trying to reach 88 miles per hour.
Right? You're half expecting the fire trail to be left behind, but it's not. He just ends up popping through the time stream into his apartment?
Right. He's just back at his apartment in 1960.
60 or 70 miles an hour and just skids to a stop without killing anybody.
Right. And apparently a party's going on at his house. So without him there, while his 1969 self is cryogenically frozen.
So all those hangers-on, man, they were just abusing all of Austin's money. What assholes.
Assholes, man. Even Felicity. Maybe they just didn't know. Maybe they just didn't know he was frozen. They were waiting for him. They've been waiting for 2 years, Jason.
There you go, because they weren't sure, because all he has is a date. They didn't know what he was going to plug in there, or a year.
That's right.
So he could have showed up in 67, 68, 69.
That's right.
But of course, Austin's going to show up in 69, baby.
Of course, baby.
It's the grooviest year of all, man.
And the best touch about him arriving back in 1969 is having bad teeth again.
Yes, and it breaks the mirror again.
Excellent. So then he's dancing with all the people. Okay, I am not crazy about the product placement moment in this movie where
Get your hands off my Heine, baby. And it's not even a period accurate Heineken.
Right, it's just a new one. Dumb. Anyway, so then we get Robin Swallows and she shows up and we get the silly little line about Spitzer swallows and all that. And then American Woman starts playing and
Woofta.
And then that's all that matters in this scene.
Was there like more to this scene? I can't remember.
I don't remember anything else other than American Woman playing and the visuals that went along with it.
Woofta.
Other than the fact that, Robin Swallows basically tries to cockblock Austin from getting with Felicity.
Right.
And Felicity warns Austin that she works for Dr. Evil, and then she disappears, and then Robin Swallows and her hitman guy try to kill Austin, and Austin continuously uses her as a human shield, which never dies.
A knife, machine guns, a bazooka, more machine guns falling from a building. I also want to point out that the guy that's playing her henchman,
I
can't remember the guy's name, but he's been in a bunch of things. He played the Blob in the X-Men Wolverine Origins movie.
Oh, wow. I had no idea.
He was just so young in it.
Yeah, that you can hardly even recognize him.
Which is it's kind of a problem with a lot of people in this movie.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not really looking for the fact that it's Will Ferrell,
he's so young. He's still in SNL at that point.
Yeah, like first year SNL.
Yeah, I guess maybe he was like 98, 99. So yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
Kevin Durand. He was actually in the Liam Neeson Naked Gun movie. I just remembered that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I mean, he plays a specific type of guy.
Yeah.
In whatever he's in. But just seeing him, and he looks like he's 12. that whole scene was just ridiculous.
I know.
It was 2 gags too many, just like you pointed out. It's like, let's just keep throwing them.
Yeah, I would definitely say this is another one of those ones that how far can we push this? Let's just push it even further, even further, even further. But I mean, to their credit, at least it gets Austin out the window and out on the street,
yes.
so he can jump in the car and then drive off with Felicity.
And I will tell you, I have a thing about people that drape flags over other things like t-shirts, boxer shorts, lunch pails. I would take me some American flag draped. That looked to be maybe a 65 or 66 Corvette Stingray. I would almost be okay with that.
See, I would not.
As long as Heather Graham was driving it.
Well, okay, if Heather Graham was driving it, maybe, but but otherwise, I'd prefer the Shaguar. But that's just me.
That's cool. I mean, if you like British cars that don't run and the electricals fail, sure, why wouldn't you want to get that? As opposed to pure 100% American V8 muscle.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. Take your Shaguar.
You know, as long as I have the money to fix it every other day, it's fine. It's fine.
Keep it running, right? Exactly.
Yeah, it's fine. So yeah, he jumps in the whatever the Felicity Mobile is called, and yeah, they drive off, and there's that line in there where Austin goes, "It's remarkable how in no way does England look like Los Angeles."
Oh my God! They would just randomly drop the red telephone boxes in different places throughout the movie.
And call it England.
Because he was driving on the left side of the road. And then that telephone box shows up with Will Ferrell's scene.
Yes.
Randomly on the edge of a cliff. And it ends up in the city where they're talking, and Burt Baccarat shows up with Elvis Costello.
Right.
That phone box was getting a lot of play in this movie.
It's just like, how do we keep this England? Just plunk it down. It was like the Doctor Who. It was like the TARDIS.
Exactly, except it wasn't a police box. It was a regular box. But
exactly.
I love that he calls it out because I'd forgotten that line was in there, and I pointed it out to my wife. And then he points it out like 3 minutes later, and I'm like, oh yeah, he gets the joke too. Okay.
Yeah, so then we get the whole thing with Mustafa where he gets knocked off the side of the road, but he's not entirely dead to the point where he can't even come up. At least he walks up, and then we get that dumb gag. This is another gag that I feel like just goes on and on about the whole like having to say things 3 times before.
I feel like Will Ferrell contributed that little bit to that whole bit.
I do too. That feels like a Will Ferrell
very much
bit.
like a Will Ferrell gag. Like they were improvising the scene.
Yeah.
And he came up with that, and that he should have got writing credit for that, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Because it's such a Will Ferrell moment in a non-Will Ferrell movie.
Yeah.
But I could only answer a question if it's been asked to me 3 times because it drives me crazy.
And I think, too, at this point in Will Ferrell's career, I think he doesn't play it hard enough.
No.
For the joke entirely to work, I feel like he would have had to have been like way more like hyper, like he'd have to lose his fucking mind for that joke to like totally work.
Yes. At least for the amount of time he was doing it.
Yeah. I feel like that one falls flat for me at least. But
well, you know what it was is at the end he starts explaining the semantics of the line of questioning,
yes.
And that's where it derails completely. Almost as if he was trying to explain the time paradoxes that were happening in a ridiculous spy comedy movie.
Almost. So then as he's explaining things to Austin, then we get that little moment where Mini-Me rolls up in the baby carriage. And he shoots him with a poison dart, and then he falls off the cliff again. And then, God, where are we at from there?
Well, there's the extended gag where I'm definitely injured very badly, and I'm in a great deal of pain. I'll try to stand up. Nope, there goes that leg. Let me try again. Oh, no!
Yeah, see, I feel like those are the moments where I was just like I no longer, like my 2026 self no longer had the patience for those jokes.
Yeah.
Like I found myself just going, all right, okay.
Those were the most Saturday Night Live-y bits.
Yes. Yeah.
On an 8-minute sketch, that would have been hilarious.
Right.
But in the middle of a movie, it's kind of dragging it down a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So then we're back to the evil lair. And Fat Bastard comes in with the mojo, and he wants to eat Mini-Me.
Baby, the other white meat.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what, Dr. Evil. You keep your money. Just give me that baby.
I want my baby back.
Yes. That's not dated at all, right?
Right, exactly. Nobody even cares about Chili's anymore.
But I still go. But I go eat there occasionally for the fajitas because they're very tasty.
Well,
but I
yes.
can't think of a time I don't go in there where I'm like, I want my baby back, ribs, chilies, baby back ribs. And the waitress usually looks at me like I'm weird, but I get that a lot.
Right, because the waitress was born after all of these movies had been made.
Correct. Made, released on DVD collections, then Blu-ray collections.
And gone to digital.
Then this person was born who's serving me fajitas and not baby back ribs. Do you want ribs, sir? No, I want fajitas. So why are you singing that song? Well, let me tell you, it's like the other white meat. Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you a story.
You know, when I started telling this joke, I didn't look as much like Fat Bastard as I do now, though. I've gotten a little bit more round since then, baby. Don't stay sexy.
So... From there, we then, after, I don't know if he leaves or what, but anyway, Dr. Evil decides to drink some of Austin Powers' mojo.
That's gross for all kinds of reasons. All kinds of
reasons. But of course, this sparks something in Dr. Evil as he looks at Frau in a very specific sort of way, and then Frau's like, oh my. So then they have relations. He gets freaky with Frau.
They shag, baby, yeah.
And hence Scott was born.
Correct.
What is with the hair that they give Frau in that? Like suddenly, it almost looks like Endor era.
Yes, it looks like Carrie Fisher's hairpiece on Endor when she's in the green dress.
Exactly.
Which, by the way, fun fact. Well, it's not really a fun fact, but it's definitely something to think about.
Yes.
How did they have a dress for Leia?
Right?
Did they eat somebody with a dress already?
This wasn't their first barbecue, Jason.
That's what I'm saying. Who did they eat to have a dress for Leia? And which Ewok did her hair?
Maybe that dress has seen a number of women on Endor. I don't know.
This is not
that review.
I know. But it's funny that we thought the exact same thing because she had that sort of teased out perm thing going on in the back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, that's Princess Leia hair. What if that was the actual wig she wore? That would be even better.
Oh my God, that'd be so weird.
Because I'm guessing that Mindy Sterling's probably about the same height as Carrie Fisher, so maybe.
Probably, yeah.
Maybe.
But I digress. So then we get the shopping montage with Austin and Felicity. And they do that whole sequence where they're playing around with the Royal Guard. And then the Royal Guard gets turned on by Austin. And
yes.
They're trying on the hat and whatever. And then Burt Bacharach and Elvis Costello show up. So we get
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Burt Bacharach and Mr. Elvis Costello.
Which is a great song, though, honestly. I love that little...
Oh, yeah.
That little music.
It was good to see Elvis with his little pork pie hat on. And still had hair. And
the 90s.
Yeah,
it was a good era for Elvis, too. So then we get the whole little dance number with Austin and Felicity. And apparently this is basically the Honor Majesty Secret Service for this movie falling in love montage type thing.
Yeah.
And then we cut back to the evil lair and we get that awkward meeting at the coffee station water cooler moment between Dr. Evil and Frau.
It got weird, didn't it?
It got weird. And she's apparently late.
I'm late, Dr. Evil. Or no, you were here perfectly on time. I don't know. No, I'm late. Oh.
So then... After that, then we cut back, and then Felicity wants to shag Austin, and... Austin
wants to shag Felicity. Come on, man.
But of course, he thinks he can't because his mojo's gone or whatever, and that's when we get the... that's what it is. So after he leaves his own apartment to go be sad boy... Basil is somehow in communication with Felicity, talking about how he says something like, don't get too close to Austin or something like that. I don't know. But he tasks her to put a tracker on Fat Bastard by any means necessary. And of course, the tracker looks like a small adult playtime device, I would say.
With blinky lights.
With the blinky lights. And so she goes to do that. And then Austin goes for his sad drive while Madonna plays her song. And then the bed scene with Felicity and Fat Bastard is so gross. It's so gross.
And because it was intentionally gross. All the food bits and
all the food on his side of the bed.
The suit is so convincing.
It is
with pimples and the hair, and there's grease and there's shit under the man boobs. I mean, it's the hairy crack, all of it.
That suit is a disgusting work of art. It is.
It absolutely may be the most disturbing thing that Stan Winston's team ever produced. And he's produced some disturbing shit.
The level of detail that they went to make that thing work. And even as he's shifting and stuff, it all moves correctly, too. It all, like, moves with him in an accurate sort of way.
I know. It's awful. That whole scene is awful. Not as awful as the bathroom scene and what comes afterwards.
I know.
And it made me think, well, I found one bathroom scene I hate even more than fights and bathroom scenes in a spy movie. It's this one and the one that follows immediately thereafter.
Oh, God. Yeah, the drinking,
It's nutty.
Oh, God, that scene is just... like, the moment that scene came on, before it even happened, I'm like, because since, obviously we've all seen this movie 1,000 times, like, I was just like, oh God, I don't even know if I can stomach, like, sitting through this scene. It's so gross. It's just so gross. It's like, I could have lived without ever seeing this scene. I could have been just fine with this movie without ever seeing this scene. It's just...
And they were worried about, putting an offensive word in the title.
Yeah, but meanwhile, Austin is literally drinking shit. Mm-hmm. But I digress. Felicity plants the tracker and he's like, oh, you want to get frisky with me?
Oh, come over here, baby.
So then we quickly move to Dr. Evil and he's talking about putting his laser on the moon. He's like, I shall call it the Death Star. and
then Scott
is just basically there to react like the audience would.
And since the laser was developed by Dr. Parsons, we will call this the Alan Parsons Project.
That one is actually far funnier to me than the Death Star.
100%. 100%.
So then we get another riffing scene where Dr. Evil's doing the www.com to Scott, because Scott's just trying to, shit on his plan or whatever. Also, too, this is maybe like one of the funniest moments for me in the whole film, where number 2 is trying to sort of like talk to Dr. Evil about what's going on or who can head off what. And Dr. Evil's like, "Oh, you want to talk? You want to play?" And he picks up the giant inflatable Earth and smacks him in the head with it. Like he he bounces it off of his face.
Are you going to cry? Are you going to cry, number 2?
It just humiliates the shit. It's so funny that it works so well for me.
Well, it's funny because like you see that the younger number 2 is like, you're an idiot. If the family squabbling is finished, I think we should bring up the point that, so it's clear that Dr. Evil has been like just dogging him down for decades, and that's why you end up getting the Robert Wagner version.
Yes. You can tell the before and after of the sort of war wounds over the decades. So then we're back to the scene where we had the lovey-dovey montage, and that's when Austin catches back up with Felicity and tries to explain to her that, what happened, and she, conveniently doesn't bring up right away that she had to sleep with Fat Bastard, or maybe she can't even get a word in edgewise or something.
She tried to,
exactly,
but then it popped, the tracker pops up on the tracking box that she gives Austin.
That's right. So then we get to the gross bathroom scene that you were talking about earlier.
Good God, Fat Bastard left a floater. It's disgusting. Not as disgusting as about what's about to happen, so fuck off.
And then we get the shit drinking scene. We've already talked about that. I'm just going to move right along.
Moving right along.
So now we're back in space, and we find out that Mini-Me is a biter. He's been biting number 2. He's been... So then Dr. Evil calls the president, And we get that whole thing where he makes his demands and he says $1 trillion. And of course, in 1969, they don't know what that means. They think that's like silly. It's like,
there's not that much money in the world.
Yeah, this is 1969, Dr. Evil. So then he reveals the laser to the president. And of course, Mini-Me is humping it.
Mini-Me, stop humping the laser. I'll get a freaking room with that laser.
And then he shows the clip. I love when he shows the clip of Independence Day.
Independence Day? That's hilarious.
It's kind of a funny moment.
And Tim Robbins is like, oh my God, damage report, damage report.
It's kind of excellent. So then we get Austin and Felicity. They're in some sort of submarine headed towards the volcanic island.
A yellow submarine.
Yeah, the yellow submarine, no less. And they wash up on shore, and Felicity has gone full Ursula Andress from Dr. No.
Oh, and thank God for it.
Yeah, it's, yeah. But then you're quickly distracted by the fact that so has Austin Powers.
And he's still got his damn flippers on.
Oh, I know, as he's walking up the shore, and he's like duck walking up the...
Yep.
So, oh, God. And this is another moment, too, in this movie. This part where Dr. Evil performs What If God Was One of Us? I mean, it's kind of funny, but it's also... I think this is one of those things where I think when I watched it in 1999, it was funny, but now it's just sort of like, okay.
But tell me if you do this, because I do it all the time. But when the song comes on, because it's playing in my wife's iPod or whatever,
Right.
Don't you always go blue 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 blee blue blue blue? I never sing the words. Blah dee blah blah blue blue blue. I wrote that. It's funny that Mini-Me's up there on the Schroeder piano.
Right? Yeah, he's got his own Mini.
And when you look at it, it's got the same German manufacturer's name on that piano.
Of course.
But when you listen to the music, you can hear a toy piano in the background going under the regular piano.
I mean...
There's a little bit of pling, 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 pling.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing you got to give credit to on this movie is that the level of details that they pay attention to in this movie. Anything pertaining to a joke, they pay a lot of attention to.
Yes.
Not so much with the time travel part, but with the jokes.
Or really the rest of the movie, but the jokes are very well crafted.
Yes. So then we get the moment where Felicity and Austin are in the tent, and we get all the silhouette jokes.
Oh, God. Too many.
But this one, honestly, always gets me. Like, the sight gags always get me.
Right.
And she's pulling all that shit out of the...
You know why? It's so much funnier because the reaction of the guy that's leading the group of Dr. Evil's men.
Yes. It's so well put together, and just... For me, that one still works.
Yeah. Well, the part that makes me laugh the most is at the very end when they stand up and all the things fall out from behind them.
Right. It's excellent. Also, too, did you notice that Dr. Evil's men, the hard hats that they're wearing, it almost looks like Devo.
Yeah. Feel like they were dressed to look like Devo on purpose.
Knowing who Mike Myers is, absolutely. There's not a question. Then we get another musical moment, which I like a bit more. We get the version of Just the Two of Us that originally Will Smith did, that they do, where where Dr. Evil raps, but is also just as throwaway as the first one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the inspiration was for Mike Myers to do the musical things. Maybe it was just something he needed to get out of his system, but he does it again in Goldmember too.
It's just a thing, man. It's just a thing he wants to do.
Well, and I think music videos weren't completely dead in 1999 yet either.
No.
So I'm sure that was part of it as well.
Because I remember that being a music video. Like, they did an extended version of it.
Right. Well, I mean, certainly, I feel like there's something, I don't know if it's that one or if it's the one in Goldmember where he's wearing like a do-rag, where Dr. Evil's wearing a do-rag, and like, it really is a music video.
Yes. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Oh, it's the Hard Knock Life one. Yeah. That's what it is.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is just like his initial idea, and then he takes it even a step further in the next one.
It seems like at his heart that perhaps Mike Myers is just a theater kid at heart.
Definitely, for sure. then they capture Austin and Felicity, and now they're in sort of they dress them in Barbarella almost type clothing.
Yes.
At least for her and whatnot, and
very shiny.
Yes, very shiny. And then Austin finds out that Felicity has shagged Fat Bastard, and he's very crushed. Then they go to space with the mojo and the laser, and of course the rocket looks like a dick, and we get the montage of dick jokes about what it looks like, about what the space that looks like a huge pecker.
I like how in the trivia on IMDb, it's like when they test marketed it, there was only one scene of that, but the audiences loved it so much that they went back and filmed more.
That I completely believe.
100%.
Then we've got the little scene where Austin and Felicity are escaping the lava that's below them, and the floor is coming out from under them, and all the while they're sort of hashing out, whether they want to be together or whatever, and all that stuff. And then Austin goes through this. I actually kind of really like this moment where Austin is going through this overly elaborate plan how to take out the guard, who they like continuously describe as like a
incompetent henchman.
They just keep referring to him as incompetent henchman. But he goes through this elaborate plan of how to take him out, and then Felicity just shows him the goods, and he's like, "Mommy," and then he falls into the lava.
And then we have the part, where Austin has to have the witty one-liners, and she's kind of not having it, and then finally she's like, "Okay, that's enough. Okay, yeah, baby," up he goes.
Right.
I guess you could say he was hot for you.
Oh, God. So we get the shot of the moon base, which is very Moonraker. This is the most Moonraker-y part of this movie. It was like the budget version of the Ken Adam.
Yeah. Thank God it was only a $33 million budget. Could you imagine them trying to do fake gravity stuff?
Oh my God.
Through that kind of budget?
Right.
I was already unhappy with the main Moonraker garbage. That movie had a budget.
Right. They didn't even try to like...
Well, they were on the moon. They didn't have to. There's gravity on the moon.
That's right. There you go. There's one part in this early scene on the moon that made me laugh. It is pointless. It gives nothing to the rest of the movie other than he's in that chair, that electrical chair, and it starts going out of control.
Right.
It starts spinning. He's like, I need an old priest and a young priest.
An old priest and a young priest. The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. Oh, I'm going to be sick. Yep, I'm going to vom.
It's so just dumb and base that it still works after all these years. It's just...
Yeah, I'd have me giggling.
And somehow, this is so like out of left field too. Austin and Felicity catch a ride to space with like NASA astronauts or something. They're like all dressed up in actual astronaut outfits, and they head to space. And and that's another thing I wrote in my notes too, is this is another just sort of like out there just dumb gag that they just decided to throw in it, where Mini-Me's chair goes bananas and shoots him and like tosses him up, and now he's hanging from a rafter.
Yes.
Mini-Me? Mini-Me, where are you? Can someone put a frickin' bell on him or something? Great. Somebody get the stick. Just grab onto the hook, all right? You complete me. I love you.
So anyway, then Austin gets there, and the fight with Mini-Me goes on and on and on.
Oh, too much.
It is too much, but I did enjoy a lot of it. There was just there was like about 3 or 4 or maybe even 5 times too many go for the bits fighting from Mini-Me, where it was like, okay, I get it. Getting hit in the nuts. He's being bit in the nuts. He's everything in the nuts. Like all the things.
That's definitely on brand for Mike Myers, though.
Yes. I did think it was funny when he finally got inside the suit.
Yes.
And was just kind of crawling around. And there's like a leg sticking out and like a...
Yep.
And then that's how he ends up getting rid of him, as he like goes into the toilet or whatever and vacates him out the back.
Yeah.
He's like,
I don't know. He's just spinning. And of course, he doesn't die, which is even better.
No, of course not. He's just spinning in space because, as we all know, the science is different for little people in space.
Absolutely. And of course, Dr. Evil then at the end of the movie flies in on the rocket ship and scoops him back in to save him later. But
of course, they even managed to fit it in too. It's all like carefully crafted though, all the jokes, because you've because when they do the second montage of like dick jokes about the spaceship looking like a dick, the last one is where it's with Woody Harrelson.
Yep.
And that girl's next to him and she's like, "That's the biggest." He's like, no, I've seen bigger. He's like, it's just a little prick. And then it's Dr. Evil giving him a flu shot in the ass. Then we get this whole thing about going back 10 minutes.
Yes.
In time, he uses he uses the time machine to go back.
You got to preface that Austin shows up after defeating Mini-Me.
Yes.
But has when he gets in there, he sees that Felicity's been captured because she went ahead, and she's in this box that's going to fill with gas. And Austin's given the Sophie's choice: do I save the world, or do I save Felicity?
Right.
Because Dr. Evil's like, will you save the world or the woman you love?
Yeah.
And so he does a judo kick at Frau that redirects the laser the other way, but Felicity dies of the gas. And then he has to use the time machine to go back and fix everything.
Right. So all that happens. But then after he saves Felicity on the second go, the two Austins bump into each other when they're trying to catch the mojo that Dr. Evil throws into the air in order to make a break for it to escape.
Right.
And of course, the mojo breaks on the floor and he thinks everything is ruined or whatever. And that's when, of course, Felicity is like, "You've had it all along, blah, 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 blah." And then that's how the Force works.
Of course.
So, and that's pretty much it. And then Dr. Evil escapes in the giant dick rocket.
Dick rocket.
Dick rocket. Sounds like it. And here comes
Dick rocket.
So then we're back in 1999 and Felicity has agreed to come to the future with Austin.
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
Baby. And they're there together. And then Fat Bastard shows up as a UPS guy and about to kill Austin. But Austin's like, or maybe it's Felicity who asks, "Well, are you happy?"
It's Felicity.
Yeah, she asks if he's happy. And that's when he says the whole,
"I can't stop eating. I eat because I'm unhappy. And I'm unhappy because I eat. It's a vicious cycle."
And then, one swift kick to the Johnson and he's down.
Oh! That's what that sounded like, by the way.
Exactly. And I did like the especially considering how many swift kicks to the Johnson there are in this movie, the fact that Austin then goes, "That's really not right, man." And then, we're like we talked about before. Dr. Evil picks up Mini-Me in the dick-shaped rocket, in the dick rocket.
The dick rocket.
That's about it. I mean, they laugh maniacally, and that's the end of the movie. Although we do have some post-credits moments. A lot of them, actually. So we've got what do we have? We have the 1 month later. God, I'm trying to remember all the things that happen in the post-credit scene. Oh, that's what it is. Austin comes home and Felicity is having sex with 1969 Austin Powers.
Yes, for some reason I thought that was happening at the end. I forgot it at the regular end, not at the post-credit end. But yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
it's not cheating, really.
I'm trying to remember what all the other ones are.
The very end is the one with Mustafa.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the second one is now, which tells you how memorable this movie was, I guess, at that point.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Indeed.
I think, obviously, I haven't watched these movies in many, many years.
Oh, it's been a minute for me, for sure.
Yeah. But even still, this still feels like, while it is funny and it is fun to watch, it definitely feels like sophomore disease to me a bit. Not a lot, because the jokes still come like fast and there's a lot of them and there's still like gas in the tank. Clearly, I think it's just this one is like played so hard for jokes.
Yeah, it was really building off of the first one.
Right, whereas the first one is truly a satire of a spy movie.
Right.
So that's kind of the difference, but it's still really funny and there's still great moments that still stand up despite like dated references.
Oh yeah.
Like the AOL thing, I think about that. The AOL thing is funny, but just for an entirely different reason now.
Yeah, exactly. It did not age like a fine wine, but it's funny watching somebody drink sour wine.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not upset that I went back and watched it at all. It was definitely.
Yeah, I look forward to watching the other two at some point in time.
Yeah, for sure.
Particularly Goldmember because Michael Caine's in it, and
yes,
I think he adds a whole dimension to that movie that makes it even better.
Yes, well, it's also very. There's going to be a whole discussion about some of the plot points in that movie and how they rear their ugly head in No Time to Die.
Oh dear, really?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, because
don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Okay. I won't spoil it.
I don't want to ruminate on this. I want to.
Okay.
I want to discuss it fresh when we get to that point.
Alrighty then.
Because everybody on the podcast knows No Time to Die is your favorite James Bond movie, so I'm curious to see what you think about the parallels.
Right, totally.
And Spectre's your second favorite.
Right, of course. Sarcasm alert! But hey, listener, what did you think of Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me? You should let us know kind of what your thoughts are about this ridiculous Mike Myers SNL project. We'd love to hear what you thought of it. Drop us a line. Tell us what you think of the movie or our show. Our little show that we do here.
We would like very much if you would give us some feedback about our show.
About the intel. Give us the intel. The 411.
Give us the intel from the tens of listeners.
Indeed. But yes, you can get in touch with us all different types of ways. On email at cicdeaddrop@gmail.com. On Instagram, it's Central Intelligence Cinema separated by underscores. On Twitter, it's at CIC SpyPod. And there's a whole slew of other socials that we're on, and you can find all of them in links at the bottom of the show description of this and every episode that we do. So please. And hey, actually, while you're at it, if you're feeling like you really like what you're listening to, we would love it if you decided to help us out and give us a glowing 5-star review on either Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, so that our show occasionally gets seen faster when people search for the dumb shit that we do.
Hashtag silly spy shit.
Indeed. Do you have any last thoughts, Jason?
No. Not really. I will say this movie was more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be. It makes me look forward to seeing maybe the other two at some point in time. But yeah, 2 jokes too many on most of the jokes.
Yeah.
That would be my one-line sum up of this entire film. 2 jokes too many.
2 jokes too many. Yeah, just letting the SNL skits linger a little too long. But on the whole...
Yes, I think it's good on the whole.
But yes, I do look forward to watching the other two. It'll be fun to sort of revisit those, particularly the first one, just to see how that one holds up actually. And I could be I could be entirely wrong, since that one I haven't seen in ages either, and it may surprise me as well. But we shall see. We'll cross that when we get to it. Indeed. All right. Well, with that, I'm Ben.
And I'm Jason.
And the CIC will return with more missions, more martinis,
and more mayhem.